Hi, this is Mary from Mary Organizes. I'm going to do a little video with some tips on how to use your Mary Organizes planner, specifically the home management planner. Many people have asked, okay, I got the planner, now what do I do? So I'm going to try to answer that question. I'll probably miss some things. It would probably be a very long video to just explain everything, but I'm going to try to hit all the high points in this video. This is definitely not an ordinary planner by any means. I organized it in such a way that you should really be able to organize your life, no matter how busy you are or what's in it. I think that this planner can help you, make your life a little bit more sane. And I apologize for my voice. I am dealing with a cold, but the show must go on because it's already January 5th and you want to know how to use your planner. Okay, so first of all, for those that got the disc bound, some people have asked me, so are these pages replaceable? They look permanent. So I just want to show you. Now, the first time you pull out a disc-bound page, it's a little bit scary because you think you're going to rip something. But the beauty of the disc-bound is that the way the hole punches are, you can actually pull them out and just put them right back in. That means you can change things around. Next year, you can just order just the pages for the refill and save a lot of money. A lot of these covers are really high quality and are going to last a really long time. And so you're pretty good to go. Anyway, so one of the first tips I'm going to say is that I use a binder clip in my personal planner. This is an example planner. This isn't my planner. I didn't want to distract you with all the things I have written. Okay, so I use a mini binder clip, and I put it between the current month and the current week. So that way I can just, I'm at an odd angle to flip easily, but sorry, the camera and the little thing that's holding the camera like in the way of my arm moving freely, but just imagine that moving freely. But so that way I can see the month view and I can go right back to the week view. And then let's say a new week happens, and then I just, I can get rid of pages in between if I want, but if I want to keep it for some reason, I just do in between there. A lot of times, it'll just be the rest of my calendar pages, and I don't tend to keep all of my finished weekly pages because I don't tend to go back and look at what a week was like a few weeks ago. So I pull those out and make my planner a little bit lighter. So, okay, so now this is a home management planner. It's just not an ordinary planner. So what does that mean? You can choose to get these tasks written in or not written in. Not that for the people who want them not written in, I think it's just because they want to do their own order. This is an order that I have found works for a lot of people, so I put it in as the one to use if you don't know where to start. So on Sunday, it says budget check-in, plan week, super tidy. And you'll notice, I don't know if you can see really well, I know it's in this upper corner, there's an asterisk by budget check-in and an asterisk by plan week. So that means there's a different section of the planner that coordinates with that. So for plan week, I'm going to go to the third section, and this is the home management planning section. And if you actually use this first page, I guide you through what it really means, what is involved in the weekly planning. Just a kind of a checklist to go through in your mind. Did I do that, that? And then also there's another page in here that's really helpful, and that is the weekly routines. So you are going to have things in your life that aren't on here that you do every week. For instance, put the garbage out. I could not guess what the most common garbage day was, so I left that off. For me, we put it out Monday morning, so Sunday night or Monday, I might put garbage out. And so when I'm doing my weekly planning, I'm going to be able to come here and remind myself of other things. And I also put things on here like first and third Wednesday, or first and third Thursday. Things that my responsibilities at church on Sunday, daily reminders, little things that as I'm planning my week, just so I don't have to carry these things around in my brain. It's really freeing to know that your planner is acting as the file keeper for information, and those things are just circling in your brain over and over. Don't forget that, don't forget that. You write it down, and as you become used to relying on your planner, you'll start to feel so free from, okay, my planner's got that, I'm good to go. Down at the bottom, I also have some routine task suggestions. And then, so the budget check-in, there's a whole budget section. So if you are a budgeter, we are for sure. You can plan it out right here. And then there's pages in the back, that are kind of keep your credit card balances or an account balance. And any of these pages you don't use that you feel like will just add bulk to carrying them around, the beauty of the disc bound is you just tear those out. You can even set them aside if you think you might use them, but you're not sure. And then just carry around less paper. Just make your purse a beautiful place. All right, and then Monday I have is the laundry chore, kitchen laundry. So that would be like maybe Sunday's tablecloth and the dirty kitchen towels. And then I clean my whole kitchen on Monday. So I deep clean the sink and the fridge and all the things that would mean. I also do my meal planning on Monday. I find that convenient because if I'm going to wipe my fridge, I'm going to be in the room and I'm going to be noticing what food do I already have. That way I'm using leftovers, I'm using ingredients I bought but never used. This really helps me just kind of all in one and saves me a lot of time and money, really. All right, and then you'll notice every day has this thing called Super Tidy. I have a whole blog post written just about the Super Tidy, so if you just search for that on my blog, you'll get a lot of good info, but basically it's 10 minutes every day that is just focused on putting things where they go. It's not focused on folding laundry or doing dishes or any just the basic tasks that might take 10 minutes themselves. It is walking around and saying, that shoe doesn't belong on the floor, that sock doesn't belong in the window blinds. Yes, 2 days ago I found socks in my window blinds. Thank you, children. Anyway, so that's just like your time to go and just put things where they go. That makes it so much easier to do all the rest of your chores. So then let's get back to the week. So on Tuesday, I have the laundry is bedding, the chores dusting, and then I have the household management session. This is my #1 tip for taking care of the paper piles in your house. Things aren't going to immediately solve themselves. I wish I could tell you that there was a quick fix for all of your household problems, but if you start following the practices in this, over time, your home will just be a maintenance place, and your life will be about whatever you like. That's what I always tell people. You don't have to become obsessed about organizing to have an organized house, at least if you're doing it right. Organizing should support whatever it is that you want to do with your life, and then it's just there as the backbone. So on that household management session, you might remember that we saw kind of a checklist there, and there's a blog post that's all about that if you want to search for that. I call it the HM session just because by now I use home management so often it's just an acronym for me, HM. So, all right, and then on Wednesday, the towel laundry, the clean the floors. Thursday, the clothes, and then bathroom. And then Friday, the laundry might be kids' clothes, miscellaneous. And then the chore would be HH list. And that was also in this home management section. You might see why it's called the home management section, because it really helps this planner. And is honestly what makes this planner most unique is how to use it now. I mean, you could take any planner and use these techniques, but this planner gives it to you all in one place, which makes it special. So this is your household checklist, and this is how, if you do all these things, I believe that your house will be clean enough. So every Friday, you can pick something from your list. If you wait around for the spring cleaning challenge, we'll get a lot of these done all in one fell swoop. And then throughout the year, you just take care of a little this, little that, and you have a clean house. It really does not have to be as hard as it's often made out to be. This section has other just useful pages that I found I was always wishing my planners had when I used to use other planners. This is a snapshot. I used to put it in the first section, and I've moved it to the HM section. And this is where I tend to plan like our year as a whole, like, okay, the kids have spring break here, there's a wedding here, there's a family reunion here, and I put it all in one view, and I can actually have just a tiny bit of room to write in what's happening. And then the budget section. So that went back to there. Let me just kind of show you some of the other sections. So this first section is really the planning, the main planning section, and it's got the snapshot, a place to put important dates. This is referenced in the weekly planning how-to right here. You notice sync all calendars and fill out weekly planning view. Add family, friends, and hobby time into your schedule. Plan weekly routines. Plan household checklists. Review important dates. So these are your important dates. And make sure you could go through and add your own birthdays, anniversaries, special memory moments. And then we go into the monthly planning section. And this is just pretty obvious in what it does. It's a place to plan your month. I try to minimize extra writing and stuff to give you the biggest box you can. And then you'll see there's lots of, the whole year. Imagine that. And then we go into our weekly planning pages. And those just look like that. I followed, a lot of people asked, I exercise early in the morning, or I do things early. Can you put in earlier hours? And so I added actually a 6 o'clock hour this year. And then it goes to 8 o'clock, and then it has a little just opening if you happen to do things after 8. I'm a night owl, so this is usually filled in for me. All right, and then, so that's the next, this obviously makes up, most of the planner is the planning. And then the next are the daily planning pages. So you might ask why I don't have a ton of these, or why I don't have a page per day. I think that most days, this view of my day is good enough. I can plan ahead and look at this and see what do I've got to do, because I add more things here, obviously, and then put in my schedule, and this is good. Because, life kind of tends to get into a routine. No matter how crazy our life is, it finds some semblance of a routine. So I find that this usually works, but there are those days that are unlike other days where everything is happening all at once and you just can't even wrap your head around the day. You might have a birthday party and 3 kids' activities all at the same time, and you don't know how that's going to happen. And so if I have to write out the logistics of one of those crazy days having 4 kids, I do it here. And it just gives me more space to write and really think out. Right before Christmas, I was using these for some of those crazy days. And if you would like, you can always order extra of these. If you tend to use these a lot, that is no problem. And then the next section we've already referenced is the home management planning section. a vital part of your planner. And you can actually order this section just to have, even if you don't order the rest of the planner. Because I think everybody, no matter what planner you use, this could be useful to you. And then the next is the budgeting. And then the next one is the meal planning. And so that, if you remember, coordinates with on Mondays when you meal plan. I also grocery shop on Mondays too, but I knew people wouldn't necessarily grocery shop, so that's something you can decide when works for you. So right here is the staples. I write down, I always want to have spaghetti sauce on hand and a box of spaghetti noodles. I always want to have oranges and milk and bread. If oranges look good at the store, I always get them because my kids will always eat oranges. So whatever your staples are, you write them here, and then when you're making your grocery list, which I keep my grocery lists in this back little pocket, when you're making your grocery list, you can go through and use these staples to remind yourself what you might need. And then also your favorite dinners, favorite lunches, favorite breakfasts. These are the yeah, you might have a placeholder in your meal plan. Every couple of nights you're going to try something new, but maybe most of the days of the week you do things that you're used to that are easy to make. That's what I have time for. I like to cook, I really do, but I don't cook fancy every day. So a lot of times it's just these simple favorite dinners. And then pantry staples and inventory. This is very useful for making sure I'm using, like, okay, I bought extra tuna when it was on sale. Am I going to remember to use all of that? Just things like that. All right, and this is something I added. This is a menu calendar. This has been a surprising favorite for people. I'm happy it is. I wanted it in my own planner, and I thought, well, I'll just see if other people want to use it too. But I like to keep kind of a history of what I make. Not only does it help me remember, oh, what's that one dish that we all really liked? Ooh, I can't remember the name of it or something. Sorry, I'm battling a cold. I can go back and say, oh yeah, that's what we had. And anyways, I can also notice, okay, the kids are eating hot dogs like way too much, so we gotta cut down on that. It really helps kind of that thing be a little bit more obvious. And that is the end of the meal planning. So it's really simple. I didn't want to overcomplicate anything because if a system is too complicated, I found it doesn't ever, no matter how wonderful it sounds, it doesn't get used. So, and then this last section is the project planning. And this can be for a household project, a work project. Also, in honesty, I left this section pretty light because I wanted everybody to have a section of their planner that could be kind of a flex section. If you volunteer school or church and you need a section to kind of manage that, you know, remember with these awesome disc bound, you can move paper around. So I'm in charge of the music for our kids at church. So I have a section with paper, and I'll write down, you know, our songs for the year or my plan for this week or my plan for the month. And I can just, it's beautiful. So I kind of, the project section is really a flex section to be what you need it to be. And then after that section is paper, because it's probably my most used kind of page besides weekly planning. And then this is not standard in all the planners because I didn't want things to be wasted if they weren't going to be used, but this is definitely something I would recommend adding. I love having, this is a file pocket. There's some planners with file zippers. This is a file pocket, and it is really definitely worth it to me. And so that is the planner. Kind of a tour with some tips on how to use it. And Some of my favorite planner tools, obviously I already mentioned the binder clip and the file pocket, but I also recommend a highlighter because when I have this section right here so full of things to do, and then I look in the next day and I think, I don't even know where to start. That's just so overwhelming. I'm going to use my highlighter and I'm going to highlight the first 1, 2, or 3. So if they're little things, I might highlight 3 big things and I'm going to focus on the highlighted items first. If they're big things, I might only highlight 1 or 2 things to focus on first. And after those are crossed off, I can highlight more things. It's a really simple way of keeping organized. So I hope this has helped. It's been really fun to do this. Apologize again for my crackly voice. And you probably have heard my kids downstairs. There is nowhere quiet in my house. So it is what it is. I hope you have a great day and a great year of planning, and I hope that the Mary Organizes Planner works for you and that maybe you decide to try it. All right, thanks. Bye.